All right, everybody, we're back, and we're live with what I believe will be our final match for the day. I've been informed that the grand finals for the 1v1 tournament will be played tomorrow. Merlini had to run for a second, but he should hopefully be back sometime during this game. It's going to be Ferrari 430 of Invictus Gaming on the Dire side, facing off against CTY, the new kid on the block, on the Radiant side. So the winner of this match moves on to play FY in the grand finals. We'll actually have a quick pause here. I wish I knew what he was saying. I suppose we'll find out soon. Maybe we'll have a remake. Nope. We'll have an unpause. Here we go. So 430, I would say out of the players we've seen so far today, he looked the most dominant in his matchup. Took down Dai, or MMY as he's also known, from Team DK with ease. CTY did beat Mushi, but he got bullied in the laning stage and just kind of outlasted him with some really patient play. So off the bat, both players, identical item builds. We'll see how the creep blocks go for both of them. But should be a very exciting match. I think this is the one I was most looking forward to. That CTY-Mushi matchup held a lot of promise. Turned out to be kind of disappointing. Mushi going for some rather weird item decisions and just playing a little bit over-aggressive. 430, better block for sure off the bat. Really nice block from him. CTY a bit lacking, and we'll see if 430 looks to exploit this. Nice job, actually, by CTY. A-clicking the enemy hero while near the creep wave, drawing the aggro back a bit. And striking first on the denies, not connecting up the hill, though. 430 should have the edge through this first wave, at least. And actually, looks like he's trying to deny here. No, he's kind of pushing, though. His wave's going to push really hard. But he does have 2 last hits. And if these creeps get under tower, that'll make life rather difficult for CTY at the beginning. Another deny for 430. He's now 2-1. Still pretty even so far. Continuing to really accrue an advantage. Now with this massive wave. Whoa. Watch out. 430's on the move. It's a pretty good advantage for him so far, but CTY has a lot of last hits under tower. Problem is Shadow Fiend is generally not the best hero at last hitting under tower. Damage isn't that good. You can use your RAZES here, but it's costly. And he also had to tank the creep, so call it a pretty big victory, as we're now even in terms of the number of creeps each player has seen. And 430 leading. 5-2 already. 6-2. Keeps on going. Well, some people have said that he's overrated as a solo mid, but 430 strutting his stuff. He actually dropped off a healing salve. I'll leave a branch in the lane just so he can carry that salve with him. Could look to pop this next tango soon. Maybe so they'd CTY will try and deny. He also will deliver a salve. But 8-2. Both players needing the regen, but 430 getting more last hits out of his regen. Pump faking for a raise, level 3 on both. As far as experience goes, 430 should have the tiniest bit of an edge. That one extra deny. If you're just joining us, this should be the final 1v1 match for today. Tomorrow, the winner of this will play FY in the finals of the 1v1 tournament. I'm actually not sure if there are prizes. There's a 20k prize pool, but that's for the 5v5 event. I think this might just be for fun, for the fans, and for a little bit of prestige. With that being said, you don't want 430 or CTY, whichever side of the fence you're on, to be walking around thinking he's hot shit. We'll see a Wraith ban now for 430 now. And the last hits have equalized. CTY's pulled his way back in. 430, actually, as far as regen goes, a salve on both. Pretty even there. CTY just finding the better exchanges now. 10-3. But 430's hurting in terms of harassment. Just a little bit. Call it a still slight advantage for 430, but very close. I'd say our most even matchup through this number of creep waves thus far. High ground advantage is paying off, though. Still, CTY striking here and there. Not going to go down without a fight, that's for damn sure. The kid has got some courage. He's fighting, he's trading while 430's uphill, though, and that is generally not a way you want to go. Trying to force these denies out as quickly as possible. Forcing 430 to choose between getting last hit or getting a deny, and, well, he's getting a lot of everything. 12-6, that's a bold salve. 430 not going to bother to try and throw a raise to cancel it. We couldn't quite get in range, it seems. And now it wouldn't really matter. So, it's still even. Still feels close enough that anyone could turn this one around. And around we go. I wish 430 would live up to his name and go for a race car build, though. I want to see some phase drums. Get that Yule Scepter. Set up a big Requiem for yourself. A man can dream. The match should really end long before you can build anything except the most basic items. But these have been going a lot longer than your standard Shadow Fiend matchups, truth be told. Normally this matchup is decided between like levels 3 and 5. At least that was the case in a fistful of tangos. And in most of the other 1v1 tournaments I've watched. But the Asian players are playing much more defensively. As far as items go, still pretty similar. First set of tangos for CTY. Generally the salves are the preferred choice. They give you more regen for the cost. The nice thing about the tangos is you can eat them and keep on last hitting. And you don't want to fall too far behind in terms of last hits. As for souls, it's actually a 1 soul advantage for CTY. He's taken 3 points of Necromastery, whereas 430 has opted for 3 points in the Raze. Normally, you see players level up the Raze first. And the main thing is just you can kind of bully your opponent out of lane. I'm not sure if 430 realizes what level Raze CTY's is, as I don't think he's shown his Raze lately. But if he's paying attention and seeing that he has additional damage, you might figure it out. The Courier lurking on the high ground still has a salve. Not being delivered yet. CTY going to use this last tango now. It delivers the salve. Up to 25 souls to the 21 of 430. Magic Stick now up for 430. 32 to 25 in terms of overall last hits. But the last hits of CTY are doing more for him. 4 soul lead. Now, though, 430's level 6. He's going in. Throws out a raise. He'll back off. And we reset. Patience, patience, patience. No, the Fistful of Tangos games that we had where players could buy items went about level 3 to 5 as well, to the guy in the chat. We definitely had some very short 1v1 Shadow Fiend matches with items. Normally these games are decided pretty early, but these players are playing much more defensively. And if you want to play defensively, then things like Mass Salves, Tranquil Boots, Reign of Aquila, these are the best items for this type of style, for sure. So you can't fault the players for going for those. We'll see 430 just continuing to try and control the high ground as much as possible. Has 2 salves to his name. Down into the river goes CTY again. He's still keeping a very even pace, so a minimal lead for 430. Not a significant one by any means. 200 gold up now on him. In terms of items, still pretty much identical. There is 1 extra salve on 430. And he's slightly ahead in last hits, but this could go for a while. Doesn't seem like either player has any real intentions of getting aggressive here. Now some clarities as well. Mass regen. Mass regen. Salvin, as well as a clarity get popped, 430. Still winning by 1 gold. So actually it's finally CTY has pulled ahead. 30 and 16. He'll drive 430 back with a few raises. He's caught up. 430 let the wave get to a point where CTY had the high ground advantage, and he's done a nice job of just winning in terms of denies. Really caught up there. He's actually clawed his way back into this game. And now he gets his boots. Does 430 have his yet? I imagine they're on the Courier. No. No boots. He's bought a lot more regen, it seems, and now he's paying for it. With the boots up, then CTY level 7 already. Both heroes level 7, but if you have the boots, oh, he could even go in here. 430 is going to try and turn it around, using that high ground advantage to throw out a parting raise. Both players popping healing salves as well as clarities. But here comes the X factor. It's those brown boots. Nothing doing, just some raising on creeps. Patience, patience, patience. The one thing is that 430s is using his raises a lot to last hit creeps, and he's not getting as much harassment out as he would like here. Now he's out of mana entirely. How many clarities are coming? No clarities, just his boots. This is a bit of a sticky situation. I'm going to say pretty big advantage now for CTY. He's got plenty of mana, decent regen, boots up. So they're even in terms of the basic items, but the advantage here is that CTY's mana, 430 does not.
So what have I missed, LD?
You've missed a lot of farming, my friend. 38 to 20 to 33 to 17, but 430 buying a lot more regen, and we're even, more or less, in terms of net worth.
Has Ferrari been playing aggressively? CTY passive?
430, not really as much as you would expect. Just more. I think he's just been pushed, kind of what Mushi was doing, where he'd spam nukes on the wave and push it, and then CTY is using his last hitting to secure last hits, which is why he's got mana and 430 is pretty much out.
I see. Well,
and on we go.
CTY trying to press his advantage, but he has a clarity potion going on. I think if he tries to right-click him, he will just get his clarity knocked off. Oh! Wow, first blood. Nice double raise.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was very nice. 219
he just, like,
HP.
laid it in right there.
That was so close. Like, even after the Magic Wand, he had just barely enough to finish him off.
Well, CTY, the kid. He won the last major 1v1 tournament in China. I believe that was in Dota 1. That's where his legend was born. And here he is now, doing work. 8 extra last hits, 7 extra denies, leading by 800 net worth. Yeah, this ain't looking good for 430.
Not at all, especially when he revives. He has 15 souls. That is not good.
So the one thing I'm curious is, will he go for a more aggressive, like go for the jugular build here, get the phase boots?
Well, I don't even think he needs to go for the build. It's just for the playstyle. Look at his regen right now. He has phase boots like you talked about. He has 2 salves and 1 tango. Ferrari's forced to walk back in the mid. He only has 1 tango. So if they just trade, harass, and just don't let Ferrari get any sort of last hits in mid, then that means that he can just trade 1 salve, and then where's Ferrari going to get the money for any more regen? And then if he has phase boots versus non-phase boots, I'm pretty sure we know who can win from that.
Yeah, and here come the phase boots. Also, the last hitting will go even more in his favor. In terms of damage right now, it's 71 plus 99. Oh, and he goes. Now he's going to post up. 430's been caught unawares. So he'll use the auto attacks and then wait for the killing raise. Still chasing. This is bad for 430. He'd better put on his Nikes. Uh-oh. This ain't happening, I don't think. One more raise.
Wow.
Nails it.
Sick raises by CTY.
What
there.
A player.
Wow, that was pretty sick. Hitting this is a very, very difficult raise to do that C raise.
Yeah.
You have to like turn into the trees
and your
with
hero
3 plays behind you.
And your hero wants to path differently if you overclick too much.
That was just
you have to click like right in front of the tree.
Very impressive raise by CTY there.
Well, the new kid is here to stay.
That was quick. Well, at least for me. 11 minutes is way shorter than most of the other ones.
Yeah. He just killer instinct there.
I know.
So Mushi, the only one who really got the best of him at all in the laning stage, in the first few minutes, but
it seemed like Ferrari was like kind of close on last hits, but just one.
He was winning by a tiny bit early on, but he had to use more regen, and he was pushing the wave a lot, and using razes.
Yeah, CTY is really good at controlling the wave, keeping it on his hill and closer to his
tower. And it seems to me that 430 uses the raise to farm more, where CTY is relying more on last hitting to farm, and when he harasses, it's with the raise.
Much more efficient use of.
So it sets up our grand finals now. It's going to be CTY versus FY, Vici Gaming, and all Vici Gaming finals. Now, Mu did forfeit, and he's one of the stronger solo mids in Asia, but got to say, these two, I'm going to give CTY the edge there.
Yeah, CTY seems like he makes almost, like, no mistakes. Minus, like, sometimes I guess he gets out-farmed in the early, like, first 2 or 3 waves, but after that, plays pretty solid, has very good raises, knows when to play aggressive and when not to, and that is something that I can't say for many of the other players.
Well, guys, that is going to wrap it up, actually. This concludes today's RedBull ECL coverage. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. It's been a long day. It's been a grueling day for the players, for the organizers, I'm sure, for the Chinese broadcasters, and, of course, for us as well. I'm LD. He's Merlini. If you enjoyed the broadcast, you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/MerliniDota for him, twitter.com/LDDota for me. But most importantly, guys, be sure to tune in tomorrow because we will be casting the more exciting matches. We'll be casting your semifinals and your grand finals for the 5v5 tournament as well as the grand finals for the 1v1 tournament. It all should kick off at 11 a.m. SGT, which is 5 a.m. CEST, as well as 11 p.m. EDT, I believe. If it's the same time, I'll double check that. I'll post the updated schedule for tomorrow after I have a chance to check. But once again, this has been LD and Merlini, the RedBull ECL Season 2 LAN Finals. And for now, we are signing off. We'll see you tomorrow.